Hey everybody, welcome to the Hamakua Homestead. If you're new here, my name is Tiffany, and today is our fourth and final installment in the Make It March collaboration. Make It March is a collaboration put on by Lisa over at Sutton's Days. She and all of the other participants will be linked in the description box down below. During the month of March, every single day, you have one of 7 creators bringing you a recipe and different ideas on how to use your canned goods. So check the description box down below so you don't miss out on any of these delicious recipes. So you have all of these goods canned up, you've used your pressure canner, you're excited, it's on your shelf is full. But now what? Well, here we have venison pot pie filling. I canned this 2 years ago, February 2022. So today we're gonna make venison pot pie. And it couldn't possibly get any easier. And because of the nature of my recipe today, you're getting a bonus recipe. I'm gonna show you my favorite pie crust. I will link the video down below where I made this pot pie filling. To start off your pie crust, start with a 1/2 cup measuring cup. Put in 1 regular size ice cube. Mine are super tiny, so I'm doing it this way. Fill it up to the 1/2 cup mark with water. Then you're going to add in 2 teaspoons of vinegar. Now set this aside. 2.5 cups of flour. 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of sugar. Mix these dry ingredients all together. Gonna take 1 cup of very cold butter. I just took this out of the fridge, so it's perfect. Now I'm gonna add all of these cubes into our dry mixture. And now I'm just going to cut them up into the flour until these become about the size of peas. I want it to be kind of crumbly. And each time that I push into the butter, I'm exposing another side of the butter so it's moist and the flour will stick to those moist parts. Now that you have your butter all cut up into chunks, it's time to add your vinegar water. And we're gonna do it slowly, just a splash at a time. You don't wanna do it too quick because then you'll have too much wet in one area and too much dry in another. So you wanna let the flour absorb the water nicely, evenly. Just kind of work the dry crumbs in so you get an even level of moisture as much as possible. I'm going to add another tablespoon of water. And I'm trying to avoid handling this butter as much as possible because I don't want to melt it with my hands. We're going to split this in half because it is 2 pie crusts, either 2 bottoms or a top and a bottom. Flatten this out into a kind of a disc. I want to be able to keep it cold, and I'm going to make it more cold because once this is kind of flattened out, we're going to place it in the fridge for an hour to make it come cold again and have the butter meld in with everything else. Now I'm going to cover this with saran wrap. I do find that this bench scraper is especially helpful in this particular situation. We're going to wrap it up in like a nice little package. And we're gonna place both of these in the refrigerator for an hour until the butter gets nice and cold again. It's been an hour. We can take our crusts right out of the refrigerator and go on to the next step. Notice they are not like really hard, but the butter is definitely hardened, if that makes sense. So we're gonna make one of these the top and we're gonna make one of them the bottom. Don't want the butter to stick too much to this, so I am doing a little bit of flour, but I don't want to overdo it either. Gonna put this into this thing. That went nicely. I'm very happy with that. Yay. I'm gonna stick this in the refrigerator while we get our filling ready. Bay leaf. We are gonna drain, no we're not, hold on. Okay, we're gonna start off with about 2 tablespoons of butter. A little bit more. Keep this on a really low temperature. You don't want to burn your butter. We're just making a simple gravy to start off, a roux to start off our gravy. The general rule about a gravy is when you're starting off with your roux, use equal parts use equal parts flour and butter. You're gonna let that cook down for a short time, at least like a minute. That way you're gonna get rid of your raw flour taste, cook it off. And then we just add some of our liquid. Let's give this gravy a little taste test. It's really hot. It's really hot. It's so good. It's delicious. Absolutely delicious. So next, I'm gonna add the rest of our contents into the hot gravy. And that's pretty much it. The hot gravy is going to warm the meat and everything all the way through enough to where we can put it in our pie crust. However, I am a little bit concerned. That it's not going to be enough, which is why I grabbed 2 jars. This might be too much, but I really don't want to have a really skinny pie. I want to have a big, fat, juicy pie. Yeah, the crust is pretty much, it's a deep dish, so I'm gonna do it again one more time with the second, just the same as I just did. All right, we got our second batch done, and it is time to fill up our pie crust. The oven is preheating to 400. Okay, we didn't need the second one, I don't think. Wow. We're definitely gonna have extras, but that's okay. It won't go to waste, I promise. It's good. Let's get the top on our pie. Put the top on. This is seriously so easy, you guys. So easy. With the measurements I gave you for this pie crust, you're gonna end up with the top and the bottom. Flouring your surface, I think, would be a good idea too. There we go. Not bad, not bad. Nice. Let's make it look fancy. This will also help keep the edges together against one another so that it has less of a chance of breaking when it's baking too. It's not just for looks. I'm taking off the excess because I think there'll be less of a chance of it just burning right off, and that might be not so appetizing. That's the sound of our oven preheated. You can save this extra and do another project with it for sure. In fact, you can make a baby pot pie with the leftovers of this and the leftover filling. Actually, I might do that. I might just do that. That sounds good. I'm gonna slit some holes in the top so that there's air vents and it knows where to go. I don't necessarily want the air just exploding anywhere it wants, because that might just make it look ugly. I'm gonna pop this in the oven at 400 and I'm gonna check it at about 25 minutes to see what it's doing. One thing about this particular pie crust recipe, I have tried with other pies to put aluminum foil around the outside to keep the edges from burning. And for some reason with this particular recipe, it doesn't really work. Because there's such a large amount of butter in here, I feel like it just melts to the aluminum foil and it just becomes a sticky, ooey gooey mess. So I'm not gonna do that. While we wait, I'm gonna make a baby pie out of this one, just for fun. Just got our pies out of the oven. It ended up being a little over an hour that these were in the oven. Ooh. It's looking pretty tasty. It was actually an hour and 20 minutes that these were in the oven. We're gonna let it cool down and then we'll give it a taste.
How should I do this?
So being that this is our last installment for Make It March, I figure we gotta have Scott try another canned meat recipe. So we are about to dig in. We're gonna eat the little small one and save the big one for later.
Careful, that's real hot.
Yeah.
It's very good though.
You like it? I tried it. Not, not baked, but the filling. I already know the filling I like.
That gravy came out so much better than mine.
Yeah.
I made a pot pie yesterday.
The crust is good too. Did you get a chunk of meat in there? Yeah?
Yeah. So the chunks of meat don't care for as much. But the gravy and the bread is very good in this. What veggies? I see carrots. Did you use other ones too? Or?
I don't remember. Probably onions. I think I saw celery, a bunch of different spices.
That's delicious.
This is from the venison that a customer gave me.
You know, I think I would like the meat part of it more if that was cut into small pieces.
Yeah.
Just because it gets more stringy in the...
Yeah. You think it wouldn't bother you if it was smaller?
Now it gets stuck in my teeth.
Yeah.
But that's delicious.
Maybe we won't be giving away the other one then. I like the crust.
That's also better than the one I made.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks good. Okay, before, the cheater way that I used to make pot pies was with the store-bought pastry dough. This is so much better.
It has 2 sticks of butter in it.
Is it really? Okay, it's worth it. What did you think?
I like it a lot.
Mushrooms would be good in that. Those carrots are good and hearty in it. I like that.
Those were pressure canned and then baked for an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, this filling is out of a jar. The whole filling. He didn't even know. Trying to show people how to use their canned goods.
I was thinking it was just the meat.
No, all the veggies and everything. That's why I said I don't remember what I put in it, because it was 2 years ago.
The vegetables are good that size. Well, for a taste test, that's kind of testimony when it all gets eaten. So was the gravy part of what was canned, or did you make that?
I took the liquid out of the pre-done up jar of pot pie filling. So it was done in liquid, in a broth. And then I took the broth and made the gravy with its own in one jar. So the only things I added was butter and flour. Carrots, celery, onions. Yay. Thank you, honey.
Good job, baby.
I'd say that went pretty well. You heard it. If he He said if the pieces of meat were cut up a little smaller, he would have really enjoyed it even more than he already did. I think we've almost converted him. There's one more way that you can use up the goodies on your pantry shelf. Don't forget to check out all of the other videos that are in Make It March. They will have this logo. This logo. And remember, each time that you comment on any of these Make It March videos, it is an entry to win a prize at the end of the month. On March 31st, Lisa is going to hold a random drawing and she's giving away a pressure canner. And a big thank you to Lisa for putting together this awesome collaboration. And thank you guys for joining me today on the Hamakua Homestead. I'll see you again soon.